All right, I'd like to welcome you to the Introduction to Organic and Biochemistry. This is Chem 102. This is a hybrid course. In case you are not aware, this course is a hybrid course. Hopefully you are aware of that, which is the lecture portion of this is completely online. Everything is online. We, however, meet once a week for lab on Mondays in SP212 from 10 to 12:50. If you notice, it's about 3 hours. Each lab will take about somewhere between an hour to 2 hours, and then we'll have an additional like 1.5 to an hour to go over any of the lecture material that you didn't understand from the week prior to it. Once we get to the schedule, I will explain how the course is structured. It will make a lot of sense. But I just want to make sure you realize this is a hybrid course. We meet once a week for the lab portion. All the lecture material is completely online. You will take exams and quizzes during this Monday lab time. On those Mondays, when we have exams, we do not have a lab. We will have an exam on that day instead. Okay. However, I do have videos and other handouts that you will do online. So one of the things about this class is that you have to be very motivated to do the online lecture stuff. There is no class that you come to other than the lab on Mondays. Okay. So what I would do, what I always tell people, what they should do as a hybrid course is they should find like 2 to 3 hours a week in your schedule. Schedule the same 2 to 3 hours. Pick whatever day, if it's like a Tuesday and a Thursday at like 9 o'clock at night or something, if you're not working or something. Find 2 days and just say to yourself, that technically is the time where I am going to quote unquote have my lecture for my Chem 102 class. And basically that means you go somewhere quiet, you turn on your computer or a tablet or your cell phone, and you watch the videos. So you pretend that you have a lecture at those times. That's kind of what I think um, what the best thing is to do for this course. Okay, obviously these are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can pick any time you want to watch the videos. The videos run somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes each video, with about, I don't know, 5 to 6 videos per chapter, somewhere around there. So we're talking about an hour to hour and a half worth of videos per chapter. I will show you all the videos for our first chapter and kind of where you find them on our D2L site. So in this kind of welcome video, I'm going to kind of show you everything in the class. This is kind of like what you usually do on the first day of class. However, our first day of class isn't until the end of the first week. I'm sorry, is at the beginning of our second week because we have no class on Monday. So we won't meet till on the second Monday, which is on January 22nd. Okay. My name is Steve. Please feel free to call me Steve or Dr. Garber if you feel more formal. Here's my office phone number. Here's my email address. I prefer you email me through this address, not through our D2L website. Um, there's other information that we have to have on our syllabus, um, the um, the address for Front Range. My office is SP222. Office hours, I do it by appointments. Pretty much almost every day I can probably have office hours. You just kind of have to email me. I'm kind of in and out my office. If you're happen to be on campus in the science building and you feel like stopping by my office SP222, just to see if I'm there, I am fine with that. But the best way is to send me an email and we can kind of meet. I'm definitely available after class at 1 o'clock. However, I'm not available before class on Mondays, but I am after class. All right. The book, I had a special book made for this course. This book is a great book, um, and the book is actually 24 chapters. The first half of the book, the first 10 chapters, is the general chemistry material, the stuff that you've learned in Chem 101. It's not the same book that we use in 101, but it's pretty much all the same material that you learn in our Chem 101. And then the organic and the biochem part of this book is what I really liked about this book. Those are chapters 11 through 24. And those chapters are the only chapters that I had made in this book. So I contacted the publisher and told them I don't need the whole book. I only need pretty much half the book. So they made a special book for me for this class. It's about half of the price of the actual whole book. So this is the ISBN number for the whole book. So if you plug this in to Amazon or online, you will get a copy of the whole entire book. However, you don't need the whole book. You'll need half of it. So if you go into our bookstore, you will get just the book that I had made specifically for this class, and it's about half the price of the whole book. All right, there's no reason for you to buy the whole book since we're not using it. Plus, we save over $120 on the book. All right, so please be aware of that. And it's also the third edition. So if you do want to go online just to see if the third edition is cheaper, or if you want to rent it, by all means, you have the ISBN number, but just realize we're just going to be using chapters 11 through 24. All right. D2L is where the lecture notes and videos are, laboratory handouts, pre-lab assignments, homeworks that I show you, a bunch of other information, your grades. I'll kind of show you how to get on. I assume most of you probably know how to go on, already know our D2L website. If you're taking Chem 102, that means that you've had to have Chem 101 at our school, so I assume that you kind of know how to use that, but I'll show it to you just in case. You don't need anything specific for lab except goggles. We'll talk more about that when we get to lab portion, but everything is completely online. A lot of this information on the syllabus is just required information that we need to put, like this is a GT class, and this just kind of gives you tons of information, more information than I'm going to talk about in here, but feel free to read this if you'd like, but you really don't need to worry about it at this moment. Course overview. All right, we're going to be learning a lot of information in this class, so it is imperative that you stay on top of the information. Do not try to cram for these exams. In 101, you might have done that and you might have been okay with that, but in this class, I guarantee that is not a good idea. There is a lot of information in this class. It's very fast-paced. Also, you have to do everything online on your own. All right, so you have to be responsible for your own hours and making sure that you plan everything according. Okay, so you can kind of read everything here. Academic honesty is expected in this class, of course. This is kind of the breakdown of the course. There are going to be 5 exams, 4 exams during the semester, and then we have 1 final exam, which is mostly the last 2 chapters, but a very small portion of it is going to be cumulative. I'll kind of show you that in the syllabus. The lab part, there are reports. They're not pre-lab quizzes. This was for another class I copy and pasted, and I should have blackened out that quizzes. There are pre-labs and lab reports that you have to do, and that's a total of 250 points. And then we'll also have other in-class assignments and quizzes and things like that all throughout the semester for 250 points. All right, and we're talking roughly 1,000 points. This number might change a little, maybe be 200, maybe be 175, maybe be 300, depending on how much we get to. Okay, it really just all depends on the class. So we're looking roughly around 1,000 points. Straight 90, 80, 70, 60 scale. I usually don't have to curve. It is important that you receive a D or better in the lab portion. If you obtain an F in the lab portion, you automatically get an F in the class. It doesn't matter if you're acing all the exams or quizzes. If you fail the lab, you fail the class. So I want to make sure that you are aware. I also want to point out, if you notice on every page, I say that I reserve the right to modify the syllabus and schedule. Usually, just so you know, if I do change it, it'll be to help you guys. It would never be to hurt you guys. Okay, so 4 unit exams and a final. Exams will be mostly multiple choice. There might be some with short answers. They'll include all the topics in the textbook, as well as things in class that we talk about or demonstration. The final exam, most of it, 75% of it, will be on the last 2 chapters. However, the 25% of it will be cumulative. So I'll have a question or two from every chapter for the cumulative part. And basically, you just have to study your old exams for the cumulative part. It's very hard to do a makeup in this course, so I really do not want to have to do a makeup. Okay, we meet once a week. In the syllabus, it tells you clearly when all the exams are. If for some reason you have to miss it for work or for an interview or whatever, I totally understand. Please contact me at least a week before the exam so that we can arrange a time that you can take the exam. If you just do not show up for the exam and you haven't contacted me, or if you contact me later in the day or on the next day, I will let you take the exam, but you need to realize at that point, every day that you do not take it, I take 10% off. It's basically a whole grade. So if you don't take it till 4 days later, the highest grade you can get is a 60% on that exam. Okay, so please be aware of that. Laboratory, there are labs, which I'll show you. I have one lab posted, or a few labs posted already online, but I'll kind of show you the labs. There are pre-lab assignments you got to do, and then you got to do a post-lab. All right, our class, SP212, is a working lab, so there's absolutely no food or drink or water allowed in our classroom at all times. You also have to make sure that you dress appropriately. We will go over some of the lab safety in a different video. You know, pants have to be, you have to wear pants, or if you wear skirts, got to be down to your ankles. You have to wear socks. You have to wear closed-toed shoes, shirts with long sleeves, no tank tops, long hair must be tied back, safety glasses at all time. This is pretty much almost everything in our class. And every Monday that we meet, you have to make sure that you do this. Oh, also, I forgot to say up here, there are no makeups for Miss Labs. Okay, this is the only Chem 102 class. Once the class is over on Monday, we put all the chemicals away. So there is absolutely no makeup for any missed labs. So do not miss a lab. All right. Um, quizzes and in-class assignments. I kind of already talked about that. We'll have quizzes throughout, pretty much on every chapter. Attendance is absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. If you miss, like I said, if you miss a Monday, you've missed a lab. There is no makeup for that lab. There's lots of information we talked about. Since it's the only day we meet, we go over a lot of stuff. So if you miss a class, I want to highlight this, you are responsible for all material covered and assignments due. Okay? Don't expect me just to go out of my way in order to help you all of a sudden because you missed a class. All right, I am there on Monday, so I expect you to be there on Mondays. I'm very strict about that because I have 2 other classes. I have a lot of other stuff I have to do. I can't just stop. And if you come to me and say, well, I missed Thursday, can you just go over everything? All right, that won't happen. All right, you are responsible. Plus, I put all the videos online, so you should not really miss anything. But like I said, if you miss the lab, you have missed the lab. All right. Quizzes too. If you, on Mondays are the quizzes. If you come and you miss the quiz, then you have missed the quiz. Unless we arrange it some other time, that's fine. But usually I don't. It's under very, very special cases. I already said there's no food or drink allowed in 212. This includes candy, chewing tobacco, bottled waters, drinks. Please try to use your cell phones at a minimum. Let me talk about texting. I'm not here to be, the police officer of your phone. However, if you constantly text in class, and what I basically do is I'm not going to tell you to put your phone away, but I will notice you, doing a lot of texting in class. I will kind of write it. What I do is I make a seating chart on the first day so that I get to know everybody. But I'll make a note. And if you are a borderline case, lots of times people are borderline cases. They're like a 79%. If I've noticed that you are on your phone all the time, you aren't paying attention, I don't know, you're doing other things, I will give you a C in the class at a 79. If you put your phone away, if you're asking questions, if you're on time, if you show up and you're a 79%, I will give you a B in the class. Okay, so I note it, so it's not a grade. I don't have a point scale for you, but people know if they are on their phones a lot in class. So like I said, I record the date, and if you're texting or if you're late or if you don't show up, I record all that information. Okay. Now, just to let you know, I'm a very nice person, and I love to help students, and I want you, and I especially love organic and biochemistry. So this is one of my favorite courses. I am here to help you. I will do whatever it takes to help you. Um, but as a student, you obviously have to try. You have to be the one. I am here to all supply the information to make sure you understand information, but you are the one who's responsible for showing up on time, making sure that you're learning the information, making sure that you're doing everything necessary for yourself to learn the information for yourself. Okay, but I am here and I'm willing to help you in any way I can, but you have to be willing to do the work for yourself. All right, attendance again, a must, absolute must. Um, Information on academic honesty, you can read this on your own, plagiarism. Campus closures, having a hybrid course is actually pretty good during this time of year if we have a lot of closures because you still have all the lecture material. So even if it's snowing outside, hey, you're trapped indoors, let me watch a few videos and do some homework. How perfect. So this really does not affect us unless Monday is an absolute blizzard. um, then there's actually our number is right here. I believe this number is for the Westminster campus, um, but for our campus you call that number, or you get on the emergency alert line, and they will tell you if our campus is closed or not. All right, and if it's closed, then we obviously will not be doing that lab for the week, but you're still responsible for all the information. Technical difficulties, this is a big one. This happens all the time. There's nothing we can do. However, you are still responsible for things. If you have to do something online for whatever reason, it's available 24/7. So if you're waiting for the very last minute to do it, and for some reason the desire to learn is down, well, you've had a whole week in order to do something about it. So make sure that you are doing things in plenty of time because there's always technical difficulties. Don't come, don't start doing the pre-lab 30 minutes before our labs on Monday, because you might go and the computer center is down or the D2L is down, and you'll come to me and say, hey, everything was down, it's not my fault. I'll be like, you had a whole week to do this. Why did you wait till the last minute? Okay, so make sure you plan your time accordingly. If you go to the students' rights and responsibilities and resources, there are tons of topics of information about student email. I have to email you through a student email, not a personal email. There's information about dates, financial aid, using audio or video recording, a whole bunch of information. So if there's information you need to know, feel free to go there. These are some important dates for the semester. First class technically is the 16th, which is Tuesday. Our first class that we meet is the 22nd. However, this is actually the first day that this is obviously activated, and if you were watching this, you obviously knew that. There's non-attendance, payment deadline. If you don't pay by the 25th, you'll be dropped from the class. Last day to drop this course with a refund is January 31st. If you're graduating, here's the application deadline, spring break. Last day for a W is April 14th. And last day of class is March 3rd. All right, so here's the schedule. Let me talk about how the schedule works because it might be a little confusing. The first week of the semester, all right, is January 16th is the first day, all right, because it's a holiday on January 15th, so there's no lab that day. This week, the first week, you are to watch all of the videos on Chapter 11, okay? All of the videos for Chapter 11 are to be watched this first week. You are to make sure you understand everything. I don't really have a reading assignment because the book is used more as a reference. However, I do assign a bunch of problems out of there, and so that's the only resource you have for homework problems. But if there's something you didn't understand from my videos, you can always go back in the book and read the book. There are some people that like to read instead of watch videos, or like to do both. By all means, do that. However, the first week, you are to watch all the videos and read the whole chapter of Chapter 11 and understand everything Chapter 11. If you don't understand anything, you are to email me. Like I said, this is an online course. Email me questions or come to my office hours if you're available. Sometimes people have trouble sending emails that they don't quite understand how to word it or phrase it. So make a mini video. Nowadays, you can pretty much download any type of free video software. Um, I use Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm currently using. You can download it for free, and I think you can do up to 10 or 15 minutes of videos for free. So feel free to do that if that makes it easier to watch. I'll usually make a video and I'll send it back to you with my explanation. But the first week, chapter 11, watch the videos. Okay, and then next Monday, the first Monday we'll meet is the 22nd. Okay, this is when we will go over all of this information of the videos that you watched the week before. I will answer any questions. I will do maybe a mini lecture. I'll kind of go over it pretty quickly and say, all right, this is what we talked about on these videos. Any questions on any of these? I'll answer any questions. And then we will do a lab. Our first lab is the solubility lab. Okay, I will direct you to information on what to do for the solubility lab as far as pre-lab and information like that. But that is the lab we'll be doing. Make sure you have goggles. But that's kind of what the semester is. Okay, so then week 2. So we will do this solubility lab and go over chapter 11 on on Monday. And then next week, you will then watch all of chapter 12 videos on alkanes. And then when we meet the Monday on 29th, I'll answer any questions from chapter 12, and then we'll do the extraction of caffeine from tea. So if you notice, you watch the videos one week, and then the following Monday, when we meet and have lab, we talk about that previous information. Okay, so then on week 4, the Monday that we meet, I'll go over any information from chapter 13, and then we will have exam 1. There is no lab. We will have the exam on week 4. Okay, so you might be saying, well, we're only going to go over it and then we have the exam. The answer is yes, you have a whole week to learn chapter 13. Hopefully by the time that we meet by this Monday, you will pretty much know chapter 13. I kind of am assuming that for all the chapters. So when we meet on Monday, you'll pretty much have a good idea of everything on chapter 11. We'll just kind of go over a few things. All right, you should have about 90 to 95% of that chapter completely understood by the time we meet. This information is not hard, okay? It's not hard to understand. You have all the videos, you basically have a lecture, but anything you don't understand, you need to email me. That's why hybrid courses are a little bit more challenging, because we don't meet that often. You really have to be the one to take the initiative, make sure you are emailing me, you are sending me videos, you are asking me questions, you're coming to office hours. Just because we meet Monday doesn't mean you don't ever have to meet me ever again, okay? Please be aware of that. This is still a class, and just because we don't meet the other 2 days a week for 2 hours doesn't mean that I'm not willing to meet with you or answer questions, okay? Hopefully by the time we meet next Monday, you'll completely understand chapter 11. Okay, so the 4th week, so you've watched chapter 13 on the 3rd week, and then the 4th week on Monday we meet, we review any other questions, then we have exam 1. Then after the exam, week 4, you then watch everything on chapter 14. And then when we meet, we go over 14, we do a limonene lab, so forth and so on. So I hope this makes sense. Basically, you'll have a week, and then the following Monday really is the end of that week. We will talk about it and go over it. All right, so this hopefully is a pretty good way of explaining how the semester goes. It has the names of the labs. I haven't posted all these labs yet, but I will by the end of the first week. And then you can see exam 3 and exam 4. The labs, this is going to be fun. This class, I really try to do some really fun labs. Extraction of caffeine from tea. We're going to extract limonene from lemons and oranges. It's a organic compound that's in citrus fruits, and it's kind of a green chemistry, meaning that we don't use any hazardous materials that will harm the environment in order to extract this. We're going to distill eugenol from cloves. Basically, the smell of cloves, the chemical is called eugenol, and we're going to do a distillation of cloves, and we're going to all distill out the eugenol, which really smells good. This moonshine lab is kind of a fun lab. We're going to pretend that we work for the government, and we've found a moonshine operation, and they have all these mixtures of alcohol, and we are going to all determine the percent alcohol in these unknown containers by using an organic chemical reaction and spectroscopy. This is basically how they really all determine the concentration of alcohol. We're going to do a food analysis lab once we start talking about lipids and carbohydrates and amino acids, where we analyze food, analyze how much fat is in food, carbohydrates, and the energy associated in them. We're going to be doing a pretty interesting diabetes lab by using urine. We're not, just so you know, we're not using anybody's urine. This is mock urine. It's not animal urine or anything. It's just kind of a, a mixture of stuff that is in urine, but it's not a person's urine. So please don't freak out by that. An enzyme catalyst lab. We're going to be doing a DNA analysis, which we're going to be extracting DNA from strawberries. We're also going to be doing a cheek swab, and we're going to send out our DNA, and we're also going to take our DNA and make larger amounts of it. So we're going to be doing a bunch of fun labs. And then our final exam is on the last day, which is the 7th. And it's on chapters 23 and 24, and then a small portion of it is going to be on the remainder of the chapter. All right, when I meet with you on Monday, I'll have you sign this. It says that we went through everything, you understand everything. This obviously has to be changed. I will hand out a changed form for you. This is from my other class. And just to kind of show you our D2L website, if you go to frontrange.edu, click on D2L, you'll put in your S number and your password. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see spring of 2018. You'll find our course, Chem 102. All right, you'll click on that. Let me go in student mode so that you can kind of see more like what it's going to look like. That was the teacher mode. So there's a bunch of information. Please email me through this email address. Do not click on this. Do not click on that. I prefer, because I'm not on D2L all the time, so I don't know if you've emailed me or not, but this I get constantly. Go to content. All right. Here is a copy of the syllabus that we just went through. All right. Here are the lecture videos and slides that I was talking about. So apparently you found the welcome and introduction video. There's a video on general chemistry, which I would like you to watch as soon as possible, just to kind of refresh you on Chem 101 information, and especially the stuff that you need to know for this class. And then here is kind of the video. So you notice for chapter 11, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos. I think they average about like 10 minutes. And you can see it's the slides, and you can hear my voice. Let me make this lower. I hate to hear my voice. But you can kind of see that here it is. And it's basically I go slide by slide, kind of explain it, and I kind of write information. And so that's kind of the lecture component of this. All right. So don't think you got to read everything completely on your own. You have a lecture. You have me doing a real lecture. It's just completely online. These are the slides, so if you want to download the slides, hit download. That's probably the best thing to do. And you actually have the slides from the publishers, which are also the slides that I use on the videos. It's taking a while, but I'll just kind of show you real quick. Here they are. All right, so here is the chapter 11 slide. And basically it's everything I talk about on the videos. All right, and I will be posting the previous chapters. I'm going to try to stay a week ahead of everybody. This is a brand new course for me, so I don't have all the videos done yet. Laboratory, here are the labs. Our first lab is the solubility lab. I will have a pre-lab for you posted on here pretty soon. Here is lab 2, which you can see there's a pre-lab and a post-lab. Here's the extraction of eugenol. Every week I will talk about the next week's lab and what is expected of you. So right now this isn't complete, but it will be. There are also some laboratory videos The third week, or the second week technically, when we do the extraction of caffeine from tea, you'll watch a video on how to do extractions so that you kind of have an idea, so that when you come in to lab, you pretty much will be all caught up on everything. All right, so hopefully that explains everything in the class. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me and ask me your questions about the course. Um, when we meet on Tuesday on Monday, I keep saying Tuesday, on Monday for the first time, we will be meeting right here on the second week, January 22nd. We will go over lab safety. We will kind of meet each other face to face. I will make a seating chart. I'll answer any of the questions. We'll go over chapter 11. We'll do the solubility lab. So we have a lot to do on that Monday. I don't want to go too much into the course because that's kind of what this video is about, so that you understand the course. Um, but feel free to email me. Okay? So looking forward to meeting everybody and for an awesome semester. I'm telling you, the stuff that we're going to be doing in this course is really, I think, the most interesting part of chemistry. There are some people that do like Chem 101, more of the Gen Chem, or just kind of, more of the, just is kind of understanding a little bit of chemistry. This is really understanding organic and biochemistry, where 90% of the chemistry actually occurs in our everyday lives. Um, so we're going to be learning some really cool stuff, especially since most of you are nurse majors. This kind of pertains more into your area that you're interested in. All right, so I will see you on Monday.